Hey there, Aaron here with GrowLonUglyWeeds.com. Today I'm in Burleson, Texas, off of Valley Crest Drive, and customer has concerns of possible disease and the yard just not greened up like they'd like it to. Asked me to come out and take a look, so let's turn this camera around and get into it. All right, so I'm in the front yard. It is Memorial Day weekend, Friday before Memorial Day weekend, that is. And then we have some areas that along the side of the driveway here that aren't coming in as well. And my guess here is that they got some heat transfer from last year, some drought stress carryover from the prior year, and eventually this area will fill in. The solution to this is to water this area more in the hottest part of the summer. I did talk to the customer, and they are watering 3 days a week, and it's it's the wettest part of the year, and so that's contributing to the pale color, and it also has some thatch buildup in there. Let's see, that's contributing to that. The main thing that's contributing to this is the overwatering. I think he said he was watering 3 days a week, and I pulled a plug out of the ground, and it was about a foot deep of moisture, and I could have kept going, and that's as far as my sole plug would go. So just these areas along the sidewalk, probably just some irrigation adjustments here, just some carryover from drought stress the prior year. Of course, a little thinner in the shade. They're doing a pretty good job. This tree's not huge yet, so they're able to grow Bermuda grass in those areas for now. Now we have this tree, and it's a little thinner under this tree. Let's check that out real quick. So you can't tell from a distance, but when you get up close, you can really tell how thin it is. So the long-term solution to this is shade-tolerant plants, hardscaping, rock, those sort of things. And I think it's the same kind of with this area. This is just trying to drought stress carryover from the prior year. Just watering more in the hottest part of the year and less in the wettest part of the year. Overall, this yard, I would give it a high grade for this time of year. And some parts of it look better than others, but these areas that you see here are just carryover drought stress. Comment below what you would do to this lawn to improve it. I'm gonna give my take on that at the end of this video. As we move to the backyard, again, there's just some. Actually, there's some Bipolaris fungus in here. That will clear up on its own when he turns off the water. So I'm not going to recommend doing a treatment for it. If I was going to treat for Bipolaris, I would use Armada. I'm not going to in this case. Now, along this brick fence, you see the cracking of the soil. This is just because it's holding water. And these areas aren't going to be favorable for grass. I mean, somewhere and from here down in parts of the spring, it's going to look like this. But as our days get longer and the Mother Nature backs off of the rain, you're going to see these areas fill back in. But as soon as you get back into the fall and then the spring of next year, and we start getting a bunch of heavy rains, these areas are going to recede back. We keep doing that every year. You could lose some of this. It could just fill back in some years, but when years that are wetter, that's going to recede more, and the drier years it's going to grow back into up to the fence. It may not grow all the way back, but it'll grow back a little further. Same kind of thing that's going on around the house. These are just areas that hold water. Very common for water to puddle around back porches. You'll see algae growing in these areas. You can see the algae that's cracking here. That's algae here, it's not soil, that's all algae that's drying up. And anywhere you have these kind of areas, you're not going to be able to grow grass. So I know this is shade, and if you see this, St. Augustine in the solution, or zoysia. So don't go and plant those grasses. Again, there's some yellowing likely from overwatering and some Bipolaris fungus. Bipolaris is going to be a problem on Bermuda grass lawns that are mowed too tall and are overwatered. It's a very common problem in East Texas on coastal Bermuda. You know, you really don't mow coastal all that short, and there's a lot of humidity between the soil interface and the top of the plant, and that's susceptible to Bipolaris. Some other things that can lead to or cause Bipolaris are low potassium, along with too much moisture. This is not low potassium by itself. It's got to be low or a high moisture, mowing height of too tall, and low potassium can often cause Bipolaris. All right, so this area around this tree is just shade related. Maybe probably some holding some water too. So these areas are gonna kind of fill back in over the summertime a little bit and look a little better, but as soon as we get back into next spring, they're gonna look similar. All right, so the recommendations for this customer are to stop watering in the wettest part of the year, to mow it down to 1.5 inches and keep it that way. And then that actually go a long way. And then also dethatching. I recommend a dethatch on this yard. If it maintained it at 1.5 inches all year round, you'll have to dethatch the lawn a heck of a lot less. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. See you on the next one.